We back. StitchPhiles.
Where we been, Brandon? Where have we been?
I don't know. You went camping.
Yeah, I did go camping.
What else happened?
We've been on. We took.
Oh crap! Yeah, we went on vacation.
We took a family vacation. Don't you remember? It didn't leave much of a mark on your memory.
No.
And they say those family memories are the best.
They are. I block them out.
Yeah.
It's like trauma.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk about that later. We've got a special guest with us today.
Yes, we do.
Mr. Tom Schmidt from Geneva, Capital.
One of my favorite people.
He's pretty awesome.
I say that about everybody, whether I like him or not.
Yeah, we have to. And then
Tom's okay. He's a good guy.
I hear you, so I know you're there.
How's it going, guys?
Good, man.
Good.
Thanks for doing this off the top here.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
It's great to be on. I've listened to a lot of podcasts. I never thought I'd actually get to be on one, so I'm excited.
You and I can start one if you'd like.
Hey, I'm in.
Okay.
Bob, you retiring soon?
Somebody's trying to push me out the door, I think.
Yeah, several are.
More than one person.
Present company included.
So what are your, tell us your whereabouts.
Right now, I am in Portland, Oregon, for a trade show, a GPX trade show. My first time out here, beautiful state.
Really? You've never been to Oregon?
Never.
Wow.
No, I mean, I started with Geneva 2019, and we've done a lot of different shows, Long Beach a lot of times, but never been up here. So, yeah, it's good to be up here.
I've never been there either.
Beautiful country out here.
There's a donut shop downtown. I know where you guys are. You're in the convention center, correct?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about you guys last night because we went across the river and went to this sushi place, and it was really, really good. I remember last time we were hanging out with you guys, went to a sushi place. So if you guys are ever out here, if I remember the name, I'll have to give you a tip.
There's a sushi place that I eat at when I'm out there, and it's like the ones in Japan. It's on a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the sushi trains.
Cannot remember the name of it, but it's on the, what would that be? East side of the river, south side of the river. It's on the same side of the river where the convention center is.
When you say river, you're not talking about the ocean, right?
No.
Okay.
No, they're away from the ocean. It's the
I know that. I'm kidding.
Willamette River, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's it. That runs through Portland.
This is the portion where you just talk about all the geography that you know.
I'm a smart person. I can't help it. It's it's in my
You're across the bear?
DNA. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so show started today? Today?
Yeah, we got here Monday, actually, and then Tuesday we hang out with Gary Blakeney. You know him good and well, and went golfing a little bit. Good to see him. He kind of showed us around. This is his area. And then after that, we set up everything here at the show, and yeah, today's day one. So hopefully it's busy.
Is it 2 days or 3 days?
It's a 2-day show, which is a little bit weird. I'm used to like weekend shows, but over the past couple times, it's only been Wednesday, Thursday show. So hopefully the traffic's good.
Yeah, it's kind of.
What was that? Weird. What was the GPX show? That was Thursday, Friday show.
It was Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
It's usually Friday, Saturday, but this last one we did was Thursday, Friday.
That's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
And normally it's in the fall in Charlotte. Right?
Correct. Yeah.
It's
so they're not doing another fall show, are they?
No.
When is that one?
Okay.
Is
next year? Next year it's in November.
Is
in
it?
2024.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. They went back to fall.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So I think it's better. That's the last one of the year usually, right?
Yeah. I didn't. We had so many there in the spring, in the early or late winter, early spring. We had so many shows all jammed in together, and then we haven't had another one until we got Fort Worth coming up September, which was almost here. Seems like it.
Do you get to go to Fort Worth, Tom?
Yeah, I was there last year, I think. I was definitely there last year for Fort Worth, and I believe I'll be there this year. We'll see, I guess. I'm not sure who's on the schedule for that. Yeah. Someone will be there though.
Was that your first show? Your first Fort Worth show?
Yes, my first time in Fort Worth. Yep.
Oh, I don't remember you being there, but if you say so, I believe you.
Well, I was there for a show. Maybe it wasn't that specific show that you guys were at, because I don't remember seeing you guys either, I guess.
Touche.
Well, anyway, it's always good to see you at shows.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you, and you do a lot for us, and just want to thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you guys. Honestly, it's been a great partnership over the years, and I know I kind of Adam and all those guys started it, but it's great to be a part of it for sure.
So give us what's your title there, and well, we already talked about you've been there since 2019, but just give us a kind of a scoop into how you got drug into Geneva. I say drug's a positive word.
Yeah, right. I'm right now I'm a sales manager. I started out in 2018 as just a college intern, making calls, lead generation type stuff. Calling to registering customers for trade shows and all that kind of stuff. And so started there, graduated, did kind of a winter program right before I graduated with Geneva, just kind of continue to call on customers. And I think that made an impression, working hard. And they offered me a job right after college. So started in 2019, working with Adam and David Boyk. You guys know David as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they taught me a lot of stuff about the industry. I thought I was, all smart from college, but I kind of realized how much you don't really know. So they were huge in my growth. And now fast forward to 3 years, 4 years later. And I'm working with you guys on a pretty regular basis.
So we didn't mention this. What does Geneva Capital do? We know, but maybe some of our listeners don't know. So if you want to give us a rundown.
Sure. Yep. Geneva Capital is an equipment finance company, and we're kind of a niche finance company. So we're focused in specific industries. We know our customer base. We're privately held, which means that we make our own kind of credit decisions in-house. And that's kind of something that differentiates us is we can make our own credit decisions. We have guidelines like everyone else, but the privately held just means we can be flexible in certain times.
Yeah, that's that's kind of a good little introduction to Geneva. So what did you go to school for? Were you in the finance?
Well, so I wanted to do a finance degree. And the college I went to, UW Stout, didn't actually have a finance major. So I just did the standard business administration, and then I just enrolled in as many finance classes as possible to, learn as much as I could and be qualified. Because once I had the internship with Geneva, I kind of knew that's kind of what I wanted to do. So that's kind of what I focused on.
Yeah, and you mentioned, you learned a lot from Adam and the guys there, and that's kind of what I feel like college is. Like, you think you get out of college and know everything, but you really don't learn until you start working.
So let's go back to this. Let's go back to this finance degree. That's like a lot of numbers. Is that like a whole lot of numbers, like math and stuff?
Yeah, it's a lot of numbers that can be solved a lot faster with computer programs, software. But you just learn the long way of doing it by hand, basically, and trying to get an understanding of it. Which is what I got from it. And then I took a couple classes like bank finance that was more related to like the Federal Reserve. That stuff was a little bit over my head at the time, but I've continued to kind of learn more about it. So it's kind of interesting, especially with the current state of the economy and how much the Federal Reserve has an impact on us. I'm kind of continuing to try to learn more and more about that.
Yeah, good luck.
So you did numbers. In your degree, Brandon did science in his degree, and I did words.
Yeah,
in my degree,
right. And only one of us is really utilizing what they learned. Well, I guess right. You do.
Thank you.
Yeah, I definitely don't. Yeah, I did for a long time, but no more.
Yeah,
I took the easy way out when it came to math. I can read and write. I just can't add and subtract or divide or multiply.
What else is there?
Well, I was doing good till they said, find the value of this x.
You're like, x isn't a number.
X isn't a number.
Right.
You will show me a number, I can do it. But I'm good at diagramming a sentence.
Yeah.
And I know my pronouns.
Also, diagramming birthday cards. Your artwork is stupendous.
It is. It's awesome. It's the best. I could be an artist. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Bob, what was your degree?
English.
English? Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Interesting.
That's where I got my education in English. I tell everybody that. I actually had a concentration in. We didn't have a journalism school in the little school I went to, little college I went to. but they had what's
I was
called
going to say, I thought you were UNC. That's why Brandon's such a big fan.
UNCG.
UNCG.
I went to the Greensboro campus.
No, his.
We're the Spartans, not to be. We're not Tar Heels.
I could care less about UNCG.
He doesn't care about UNCG. I love it. I buy season tickets every year to the basketball games. I used to give them money until I went broke. No, I'm a huge supporter of the school. I loved it there. Brandon is a Tar Heel, one of the biggest Tar Heel fans.
Yeah, I think I probably am. I don't know, maybe not.
And your son is a Duke fan.
Well,
I love that kid.
He's all right.
He starts that Duke stuff, and I just want to smack him.
He gets it from his mom.
Yeah, well.
And she ain't the sharpest tool in the tool drawer. She married me, so that was that.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you did it. You did an internship.
Correct. Yep. That was the first. I think I was the first batch of interns Geneva ever did, ever hired. So
was it a paid internship or voluntary?
Yeah, it was a paid internship. I couldn't afford an unpaid internship. Wow. I had bills to pay and beer money to save up for my next my senior year of college. So I had to make some money.
Yeah, all of my internships were unpaid.
Mine too. I did a few.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did an internship for the now defunct Compute magazine.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember that? Yeah. And Compute magazine went belly up right after I left. And I knew nothing. The worst person in the world to play video. I would play video games and then write reviews about them.
Well, when you say video game, this was like Pong.
I mean,
because this was 1930.
Yeah. So it was Atari.
Right. There was no such thing as an Xbox.
No.
Yeah. So, where are you from? Give us a little background on your history of birth.
Yeah, originally born in Lake City, Minnesota. Lived there for all of my elementary years, and then I moved up to Alexandria, Minnesota, which is kind of a northern central area in Minnesota, and grew up there until I graduated. Played a lot of sports, and eventually, like I said, went to college in Wisconsin. So I'm a Midwest kid. Still live to this day. I live in Minneapolis, so I love Minnesota. And, I don't think I'd ever leave. Although I don't know, Washington State's a pretty cool state, so who knows?
So Lake City, is that where Lake Shirts is?
It was where is?
Lake Shirts, one of our big customers. Are they in Lake City?
I'm not sure.
No, they're not. That's way up north.
Lake City is a very small town. I mean, it's like 5,000 people live there.
Well, where Lake Shirts is, I cannot remember the name of the town they're in. I've been there 3 or 4 times with Steve Elias. They've got a ton of Bairdens up there and screen printing equipment. I cannot think of the name of the city. It's a tiny little town. I don't see how they find enough people to work there.
Maybe it's one of those places like the entire town works there. Like that's what's.
Yeah, Lake City. It's right on Lake Pepin. Kind of right on that Wisconsin Minnesota border. I don't know if that kind of rings.
No. This is more on the northwest part of the state.
Got it. Okay.
That's way up above. Fargo, maybe way up north from Fargo. I can't remember. I don't know. I know it takes a long time to get up there from St. Paul, Minneapolis.
Oh yeah, yep. It's spread out for sure.
Yeah. I got to figure out where that place is. It's driving me crazy.
So, what drove you to get into finance?
Initially I had no idea what I wanted to do in college. I was focused on making the hockey team. And a lot of my friends at the time were just going into business admin. And I was kind of driven to make a good living. So kind of finance just kind of jumped out at me. And then when I started enrolling in the classes, I was actually interested in them, interested in learning more about it. And from there, I just kind of took it and ran. And I knew of Geneva Capital and growing up in Alexandria, because that's where Geneva is based out of. So, it kind of just seemed like a good fit, and just kind of like set off and took off and ran with it. So,
how long has Geneva Capital been in business? Do you know?
Over 20 years. I'm trying to think of the exact date. I think it's 2001, maybe. I could be wrong on that, but I know we just recently celebrated a year or two ago our 20th anniversary. So yeah, just over 20 years.
I remember when they first started. Did you know the old man Bruce? Did you know him?
I heard stories. I don't think Bruce was around when I got hired.
No. He's been retired for probably 10 years, I guess.
Yep.
But I remember when they started, we had a show in Nashville, and we were after hours, down listening to some music or whatever. And I'd seen him around before, but he came up to me and gave me his card and said, "Hey, I can't remember Bruce's last name. He was one of the nicest guys that you would ever meet. He wasn't a pushy person." And, he said, "We've got this finance company, and how about giving us a shot?" And, I listened to him, but I never thought a whole lot about it. And we didn't use him, for probably 4 or 5 years. And then he just was very persistent and said, "How about giving us a chance?" And I remember I did a deal somewhere, and I said, "If you want to, see what you can do." He got it done really quickly, and that's kind of. I'm not saying that I started Barrett's business with Geneva, but maybe I kind of did.
You can take some credit. I think because I was just talking to Gary about it, and I think the first deal that Gary ever did with us, it was at the Long Beach show, and something that I think separated us a little bit was. We were able to just get a PO issued right there at the show. That was kind of what we wanted to do. So I think talking to Gary yesterday, that's kind of what separated and made him want to start working with us, which is great. So
yeah, I mean, and look, there's tons of people out there doing finance, and everybody wants to get a piece of the pie. I understand that. It's and you probably know, Tom, working with us, what we expect from a vendor that we work with, integrity. Is important. Credibility, doing what you'll say you'll do with the customer, taking care of problems when they arise, not push them off on someone else. I mean, I think we're better than anybody in the business doing that, and I think you guys are too. But and I'm not saying other finance companies are fly by nights. I'm not saying that at all. But with us, its relationships are really big.
Yes.
We don't look. We don't go and look and see what's the best for us necessarily, but we want what's best for the customer, and I think that's really important. And that's really what impressed me about Bruce. After getting to know him and talking to him, we had the same philosophy, where some of the others don't. Let's just face it. And we're pretty selective who we work with as far as any vendor goes, and I think that says a lot about both our companies, Geneva and Barrett.
And that's what we rely on too. You bring up a good point. We don't spend money on marketing and getting cut. We rely on repeat business, really, from current customers. So, if we don't do a good job with someone, there's other finance companies out there that'll help them. So we got to be a really good job of being service oriented and really earning their repeat business, because especially as startup companies, they're going to grow and eventually get more equipment. So we got to do our best on our end to take care of them.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you mentioned like marketing and things like that. We don't do any of that stuff. It's kind of just reputation, word of mouth, and actually doing what you should for the customer so that they do come back.
Exactly.
Well, this is such a small industry too, and I know you guys do. You finance other products too. I understand that, as most finance companies do. You have to branch out to other products, but this is such a small industry. We think it's huge because we sell a lot of machines. sell machines all over the world, or Bairden does, but we sell all over the U.S. and in Canada. So we like to think it's a big industry, but most people have no clue. This little office here in Archdale, which is the world headquarters of Bairden worldwide, most people don't know what goes on in here.
Yeah,
Right.
or want to know.
They may think it's a meth lab.
Well, when they come back right now and all the windows are blacked out, it looks a little suspicious.
Yeah. We try to make it dark in here for this podcast, but I know it looks like this building's like 10 million square feet, but really it's just me and Brandon and Jamie that run this whole thing. This whole
About the size of my garage.
Yeah. So I'm not tooting our own horn, and facts is facts, but
You're not tooting your own horn, but beep beep.
beep beep.
Beep, beep.
Exactly. No, it's I lost my point. What was my
It's a small industry, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it is a small
at trade
industry.
shows.
It is.
Don't you see a lot of the same customers that you always? I've only been here for 4 years, but I'm starting to see the same people I generally always see at these trade shows. So you find out and you know people.
Well, and I've said this a million times. We're really good with repeat business. That's the core of our business, and it's not that we don't try to reach out to the smaller startups. We don't. I'll be the first to tell you we don't do a great job with the small startups. We don't. I wish we did a better job, but we don't. And I don't know if it's price. I don't know what it is. I don't. And you can say, well, you need to do a better job marketing to the small people. Yeah, I'll go along with that argument. But when you have as many repeat customers as us, it's kind of hard to go out there and cultivate that startup business. There's a couple. There's a couple companies, and I'm not one in particular, and I'm not going to mention any names, and I'm not saying anything bad about them, but they really go after that the new guy, the new customer, and they do a great job of it, better than anybody. And we just don't, and it's not that we don't want the business. It's just I don't know if we have enough the resources really
we
to
don't.
go after.
That's,
to be totally honest with you, I mean, we don't have a big marketing department.
Zero.
The marketing department is right here. You're looking at me and Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you have to create all this content and put things on Instagram and have a TikTok account. That. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
I hate social media.
I do too.
That's the thing too. I mean, when Sarah was here, she was young. She loved social media and did a great job doing it, and she thrived in that. And I'm like, I could not care less about it.
Mm-hmm.
Brandy, you don't have a TikTok account?
Sure don't.
I was looking for you. I was trying to follow you. No,
oh, you?
No, I do not have a TikTok account either. Don't have an Instagram. I don't do great with social media. I'm supposed to be doing better on LinkedIn, but I don't really do great at that.
Don't get me started on LinkedIn. Please do not get me started on that. I'm not. I'm gonna let that go.
Let it go. You don't have time for that tangent.
I don't have time.
So you mentioned other products and industries that Geneva's involved in. So Tom, give us a kind of a brief rundown on other things you guys kind of focus and hone in on.
Yeah,
I did notice. By the way, I saw fitness industry on there. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
How come you're not in that world?
I haven't been involved in fitness. Has kind of been a different. They got different team members working in fitness. I started out kind of like in the wide format embroidery, screen printing, and kind of just stuck with that. So I know we do a really good job with fitness. Personally, I'm also kind of branching out into kind of the sporting world a little bit here and there to try to grow. But really, we focus on our main industries, like I said, the wide format, embroidery, and digital printing spaces. So that's kind of what we're really focused on. And it makes us, we want to be smart. We want to know what we finance, right? It makes us smarter in that way. So yeah. That's really what we focus on.
What do the fitness industry folks do?
Jumping jacks.
Well, you might be asking the wrong guy.
I was just curious. I was just looking at the website and I was like, because I think, is yours like graphic art or something? Isn't that what it's categorized under?
I think it's just entire gym setups, right? Like people start a gym.
Like treadmills and...
treadmills, the actual weights, dumbbells and stuff. I think it's like entire, franchises that are looking to get set up.
Okay.
So you would go,
yeah.
they would go. You guys would go into like a Planet Fitness maybe, and just like
I would say more like a CrossFit gym or something
finance.
like
No, you think?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. All those kind of. I think F45 is something that we've been working with. Was kind of a newer gym, but yeah, any kind of gym like that, I think that we would take care of it. You're probably asking the wrong guy, honestly. I haven't really
Yeah,
it sounds
too
like
much
it.
in on the fitness side of it. So.
Because you're like me, you don't have a clue.
Yeah, no,
I thought it was
I try
funny
to
to
stick
say
to
that.
what I know.
that.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
I wasn't trying to throw you a curveball. I was like,
Oh,
fitness
throw
industry.
him a slider.
Brandon, you like keeping me on my toes. I don't mind it.
I do. I have random questions.
I heard he
That's all.
can't hit the high fastball.
Most people
I
can't.
can't.
Yeah.
That'll get you.
Nope.
Speaking of, man, your
Not me.
Twins are doing all right, aren't they? Do you follow Minnesota Twins? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're the worst division in the MLB right now. So
As far as the division, but y'all are on the top of that division.
I think we're number one in the division with like just barely over 500. So
Yeah.
it's one of the
Says
it's
a
one
lot
of the
about
worst
the division.
divisions. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So I'm not really expecting too much. I haven't really been to a game yet, which is kind of embarrassing. I'm a 3-minute Uber ride away from the stadium, so I should really get to some of them. But yeah, it's they've been doing pretty good. How about your Braves?
Oh, do you not know about the Braves?
Where you been?
Well, I know they got some cheaters on their team, right? Don't they have someone getting suspended for PED use, or is that a different team?
Well, you're thinking about somebody else.
Yeah. And you're also PEDs could be aspirin, like pump
Yeah.
the brakes.
Could be fitness.
Right.
Could be fitness
I
equipment.
have a very sore spot in my heart forever for the Minnesota Twins when they beat the Braves in the World Series. It crushed me. I remember
Kirby Puckett.
I remember as a young man staring at my bedroom wall that night, crying myself to sleep because I thought it was the worst thing in the world.
You got to give us one. Minnesota, we have no
You're right.
championships
You're right.
ever. You gotta give us one. And I saw some stat. I think Kirby Puckett as a right-hander has the highest batting average since like World War II. So Kirby Puckett's a legend for Minnesota sports fans.
I remember John Smoltz, and I see the pitcher's name for the Twins.
Oh, I'll never remember that.
He almost pitched a shutout. It was a 1-0. I think it was a 1. You know, the scores now are in the teens.
Oh, it's crazy.
Back then you had all these 1-0, 2-1 games, 3-0. I mean,
Now it's like 27-14.
are you a baseball fan? You, Tom?
You talking to me about? Yeah. I mean, I probably could get more into baseball, but
You mentioned hockey.
He loves hockey.
I'm NFL, NHL, and MLB. That's kind of how I rank them.
So the Vikings and the Wild, is that your teams?
Yes,
Okay.
those are my two teams, unfortunately, but I'm sticking with them.
Yeah, neither one are. Hey, have you watched the that quarterback series on Netflix?
I just watched the first couple episodes.
That's pretty good, man.
With my fiance. Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get back and watch it. Have you seen it all?
Yeah. Well, I think I've got like maybe 1 or 2 episodes left, but like it makes you really. I mean, Kirk Cousins is like a stand-up dude. And
He really is.
It makes you like really love the dude, even though I could care less about Minnesota football.
No, I know. It's really helped him out a lot, I think.
Yeah.
And I think the show's cool just because it shows 3 different quarterbacks in like completely different stages of their career.
Completely,
So it's
yeah.
definitely, yeah.
It's
yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. So yeah, you mentioned when are you gonna get married? October, is that right?
End of October, yep.
What's the date?
Pretty much it. October 27th.
Oh, 3 days after my birthday.
Yeah, almost Halloween.
Yeah.
Trying to spoil your fun. But yeah, no, it's coming up pretty quick, honestly. I mean, the summer is already half over, which is insane to me. But yeah, all the hard stuff is over with the wedding planning. So
No,
Yeah,
no, the hard stuff is yet to come.
yeah, I guess I don't know what I'm saying. I should just take the advice from you guys.
No, please don't. If you want to have a long and happy marriage, don't listen to me. But yeah,
You're still married to
Oh, yeah, I know,
your
yeah.
original model. I am too.
I couldn't imagine life any other way. But you told, I think I asked you when we were eating sushi that time, like you've been kind of involved in helping plan it, right?
And helping what?
And helping plan the wedding and stuff like that. Like I felt like I don't think I did anything.
I mean, I do a little bit here and there. Katie's definitely, doing most of it. She's really good at getting all that organized. Got her invites in the other day, but yeah, honestly, me and her is super, stress free. That's kind of what we like to think, and it's been going really smooth so far.
Well, good. I knew it's getting close. You have just months away, so yeah. Congratulations ahead of time.
Couple months away. You got to get the honeymoon planned here, so yeah, it should be exciting times.
Do you have an idea where you're going?
No, not yet, really. I mean, I don't know. Where do you go in November? Bob, you're a traveling guy. Where should we go?
In November?
Yeah, somewhere warm. Hopefully.
South of the equator.
Go to Aruba.
Aruba?
Mm-hmm. I loved it.
Check that out. We haven't done any research there yet.
Might be like hurricane season there, though.
Well, maybe not.
I don't know. I don't really know where Aruba is. I've been there, but I don't know. Couldn't tell you on a map.
It's next to South America.
You can see another country from it, but I can't remember what it was. I am so dumb.
I think it's
It's Dutch.
Yeah, I know.
It was a Dutch colony.
I know it is. It's off the coast of Argentina.
That's it. Argentina. You can see.
Yeah. Hey, geography.
There you go. Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know. You want to stay? You want to stay in the States?
No, I probably want to get out of the state. Well, I mean,
not the state. The states. It's okay to get out of Minnesota.
No, we gotta stay in Minnesota. I'm gonna take her to Wisconsin Dells or something right across the border.
have some cheese curds.
I'll
and come
tell
back
you,
home.
I love Greece. If you can swing Greece, of course. I don't know about October. It's not too bad in October, but I absolutely one of my favorite countries is Greece.
My wife and kids just went. Just 2 months ago, maybe. She said that was her favorite place.
The food, Greek food's some of my favorite. The people are so nice. The dollar's pretty strong over there. Well, they use the euro, but still, it's not real expensive.
Where'd you stay over there, Bob? You stay in those stone caves, or?
No, actually there's a family I know, a family of peasants that take me in, and no, I'm just kidding. We have a company that we work with in Thessaloniki, which is way up north. It's not down. I've been to Athens down that way, but this little town of Thessaloniki it's way north in Greece. And the food's just great. It sits right there on it's part of the Mediterranean Sea, but it's not. It's there's another name for the sea. I can't remember what it is, but I don't know why I like that place. But I've been there 4 times, I think, 3 or 4 times, and it's just awesome. Easy to get around in. There's a lot of history there. It's not far from Mount Olympus. That would be my pick. But
yeah, it's so funny. I feel like you guys probably had me on to talk a little about finance, but I feel like whenever we all get together and we just kind of talk about life and random stuff like this. So it's typically how it goes, and I don't mind it. Trust me.
Yeah, that's kind of how any of these podcasts go. Anyway, there's like a little bit of topic talk, and the rest of it's just complete randomness. So
that's really what podcasts are.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
and you're
here
here for it, so
try to stay on topic. I mean, we're a couple of yahoos anyway.
Yeah, but I got no business.
No,
doing anything.
feel free to talk about your company.
No, I honestly, it's just funny because whenever we go out to dinner, like I'd much rather just talk about life and what you guys are doing. It was funny,
You're a good
Brandon. You
too.
mentioned, it was funny, Brandon. You mentioned last time your family's going on vacation. I'm like, you're not going on vacation, Brandon, but you're just a worker, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's more this guy beside me. I won't mention anything. He's like, you got to stay and run this thing. No, I'm just kidding.
He hasn't worked here long enough to take any trips.
Yeah, that's right.
The only reason he got to take a vacation to the beach with the family is because his mother yelled at me and said, you got to let him off.
Which, you're on vacation, you still work.
Yeah,
it's like,
we both work. We both worked
but
a few hours a day on vacation, which is fine. I mean, it's part of the deal. I mean,
I love it. I mean, I never, there's stressful stuff, but like I never dread doing my job one day. I can't say that about my previous life, so it's like a big time honor to be able to even be here. So I don't take it lightly.
Yeah, well,
I feel the same way. Working for Geneva and like I've had jobs when I was younger, being a landscaper, waking up at 5 a.m. Like I dreaded doing that stuff. It's nice to have a job where you don't think that at all. Like obviously you don't want the weekend to end, but when the week starts and the routine hits, it's kind of nice. So yeah.
Yeah, we've all had jobs we didn't really like. I mean, I got into this industry by accident, and I really, really love it. I get asked all the time, when are you going to retire? I don't know. I kind of have it made. I'm doing something I like to do. Good product, good company. They treat us well here. Customers are awesome because you've sold them a good product. And yeah, there are days that aren't good, but man, there's a lot more days that are really good.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, 100%.
And the people are not. Even the competitors. I have no beef with any of our competitors. I really don't. They're fine. Come and talk to us or ask questions. I'll give them literature.
Some of them will come by the booth and take them.
And take literature. And us standing there watching them. But it's all good, man. Everybody's going to get their piece of the pie. If you've got a good product,
you can't be everything to everybody.
Yeah, it's going to take care of itself. That's the way that I look at it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get back. We'll get back on topic. I'm gonna write this boat. So, give us the difference between leasing and financing.
Yeah, so leasing and financing.
Traditional financing, I'll say.
Yeah, traditional financing. We offer both. Lease typically has a residual at the end of the term. Can be anywhere between 10 to 30%, and that's how we set it up. So the tax implications are you write off everything that you send to Geneva over the whatever term length you pick. And a finance agreement has no buyout at the end. The payments are slightly higher since there is no buyout. So the total cost of ownership is exactly the same. And the tax write-off is just a little bit different. So that's the main difference between them, between what fits your business best is how you want to write off the equipment for tax purposes. And like I said, we offer both and we can, help out anyone, who needs to see both options.
So if someone new is wanting to get into the industry, be it screen printing or embroidery or printing, they're brand new, how would you approach that with them? What would your suggestion be for them?
Well, as far as structure goes, in my opinion, I think the lease is a better option for startups. One, it keeps your monthly expenses as low as possible, which is nice. You want to have, for a startup, cash is king. You want to have as much cash on hand as possible, to do other stuff in the business. So keep your monthly expenditures low. And then you get, like I said, the tax write-off. You just write everything off over, let's say it's a 5-year term. Every single year, you just add up your payments and write it off. So it's real simple that way. And I think it's the best route for startups. But some startups are in a different position, and that's why we want to be flexible and have the ability to offer both.
I think lease gets a bad rap because people think about the automobile industry.
Yes. Yep.
And I know I've mentioned people. Well, you can lease, or I'm not leasing. I leased a car one time. It's nothing like leasing your car. It's not that.
Yeah, Bob, I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to lease. We want to own it. And I'm like, you can own after the lease. It's a fixed residual at the end of the term. It's not going to change, like a car might, right? So, but that's kind of the main point is that we want to be flexible and be able to offer both because some people don't want to lease for their own reasons, and that's why we can do both.
So, what advantages do you think you have over a traditional, like a bank? Like if someone, and again, let's talk about a startup, and they're looking at you, and they're looking at their local bank, for example. What would you tell that startup customer? Well, why should, here's why you should go with Geneva. Versus your local bank.
Right now it's kind of a cop-out answer, but a lot of banks aren't working with startup companies. They're just because with where the economy is at right now, they're tightening up, and they're not even approving them. They're not even allowing them an option. So they come to us, and we, like I said, we love working with startups because we want to build that relationship and grow with the customer.
Right.
So and they start paying us. Maybe they don't have great credit right away. They put a down payment. They build a relationship with us. A lot of times we see their personal credit increase dramatically the second time around because they've paid off a piece of machinery. Their business is doing well, and we have that relationship with them that we helped them when they were starting, and then that we earn their business second, third, fourth time around. So that's really the core of our business.
I also think too that you guys have a huge advantage because you know the industry. Where if you just walk into the bank and say, "Hey, I want to buy an embroidery machine, and I want $50,000, $60,000 to buy a 6-head machine,"
they're like, "Why does a sewing machine cost that much?"
My grandma bought one at Sears,
right?
For $1,800. Why do you need $60,000? I mean, you guys knowing the industry and the ins and outs, I think that's a big advantage too because you do lease. Again, not only lease or finance, not only embroidery machines, but screen printing equipment, wide format printers, all that stuff.
Correct. Yeah, it's definitely a partnership. And you guys have, even in my short, I guess 4 years, not a short time, but you guys have taught me a lot about the embroidery industry as well. So, it helps everyone.
So what did you think about embroidery when you first... Because we all have our first memory of when I went to work here, I was offered this job with an embroidery company. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? And I honestly, when I went to work here, I'm like, well, this is not going to last long. I don't want to deal with this crap, an embroidery machine. But it turned out they couldn't get rid of me, so they kept me around. But what were your thoughts about embroidery? I mean, we think that we're big dogs in the world, but nobody thinks about embroidery. People wear it. Hats. People wear hats all the time. I'm rarely seen without a hat. But what were your thoughts about embroidery, or do you remember that far back? It's like 4 years.
I remember a couple of years ago. Hopefully, I can remember that. I remember my first show going out to Long Beach, and you guys were there, and just seeing everything, honestly, was kind of an eye-opener to me, the manufacturing side of it. I remember meeting you guys at your booth. And it just seemed, I guess I really didn't know what to expect, honestly. And, now that I'm moving forward, working with you guys a lot, I learn more every year. So it's just it's a learning process for sure.
Yeah,
you kind of grew up in it.
Yeah, my very first memory of embroidery is climbing on top of machines and threading them in the heat.
At the old DC.
At the old DC in Greensboro.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Brandon, totally positive.
Brandon and his brother used to thread all the
trade show machines.
bobbin show machines every year. Now the bobbin show was in August, September. Anyway, they'd start threading. We took so many machines, and we're talking 20-head machines.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Huge machines. That we started getting them in and threading them up and test sewing them. Right about July, about this time right now, we were starting to get machines in for because they would ship directly from Japan because some of these machines were machines we didn't stock here in the States. But anyway, I know we'll forget you. You and Kyle were on top of this big 20-head machine.
Oh, you think I don't remember that?
And we gave you guys an air hose.
Shooting air and thread.
That's sweating. And I'll tell you what, you guys, to your credit, you guys worked your butts off.
Yeah, you think that would leave like some sort of trauma in my life?
You think so? You think you would see these machines, you'd go, I don't want to go there now.
Yeah, exactly. But,
well, speaking of embroidery machines, Brandon and Bob, how has it changed in the last 10 years for you guys as far as has the embroidery machine, has there been a lot of advancements, or is it, just mastering the craft almost?
Hey, we'll ask the questions here.
I'm curious. Come on.
And it's still a needle and thread.
Yeah, I was going to say it's more like technology's advanced. Your electronics have advanced, so your color change speeds are quicker. You've now got touchscreen displays, but it's still a sewing machine. Essentially,
that part, it's a lock stitch sewing machine. Yep. When people see it, Derek was in here yesterday.
Yeah,
and he brought one of his workers. He's a vendor that we work with that's doing some custom work for us right now. And he came in to fit something on one of the machines that I asked him to build. And I heard him telling this, and I didn't interrupt, but I heard him talking to the guy. He was telling the guy how it worked.
Yeah.
And I'm
about
like,
the bobbin. And
yeah,
I did too. I was
that's
like,
not exactly right.
I was sitting back here. I was going like, Derek.
This guy's going to forget about it when he leaves.
Yeah, he don't care.
He don't care. But he's kind of right, and I didn't want to jump in and say, well, actually, that's not really how it works, because I don't want to be that guy. But no, I mean, and I think about this a lot. I mean, what can embroidery machines do? How can you advance them? It's a sewing machine. What can you really do? I mean, can you make it sew faster? Well, you're sewing with thread.
That's your limitation.
And the thread, there's a limitation there. There's a limitation with the size of the bobbin. The big thing now, what we're seeing, is networking and more, I don't want to call it automation, but as far as lettering goes and design transfer, I think that's where the big inroads are going to be in the next few years. And I know a lot of bigger companies that hire seasonal workers or they have a lot of turnover. And Tom, you probably know this. You to become an embroiderer takes a while. You can become a machine operator that knows how to load a design, set the colors, and sew stuff. But to become an actual embroiderer that understands tensions, bobbin tensions, stop tensions, different types of threads, the proper way for a design to sew, digitizing, pull compensation, that just takes in some cases years of experience. So I think the next thing is not to take the operator completely out of it, because you have to have the operator, because I've said this a million times, it's still an art form to me, and it always will be. When you look at a left chest logo, and I look at designs all the time, it amazes me how well some of these things are digitized and how well they sew, and there's a lot of crappy stuff out there too. But it is kind of an art where you can make money doing it. For somebody that just has a machine or two in their house or in their garage, or they have a small business, those are your true embroiderers. And this is going to sound bad, but I don't mean it this way. The people in the factory who do it as a job and get paid, some of them are embroiderers. There are some really good people working at some of these companies that really know what they're doing. Yeah. And there are, as I mentioned, seasonal people, like Land's End, for example, up in Dodgeville, Wisconsin. They hire a lot of seasonal people that are probably just going to run an embroidery machine during Christmas time or whatever. They're not going to be an embroiderer, right, nor do they want to be. But trying to automate it more, I think, is going to be the next big thing. You can't make machines so much faster. And I know everybody's about speed, but the faster you sew a machine of any brand, you raise the probability of having more problems with the design, or breaking more threads, or being less productive. That was a long answer, wasn't it?
I liked it. Honestly, it kind of probably speaks to why Barrett machines hold their value for so long, right? It's maybe simple is the wrong word, but it's just solid, right?
It is simple.
It is simple. I like it simple. I do. I mean, any machine, no matter what it does, whether it's an embroidery machine, whether it's a welding machine, any machine has a job to do, or it provides a job or a service or whatever. Obviously a person has to run that machine or operate it, but the machine is designed to do one thing. And if I've always said, when you start complicating that machine with all these automated features on it, in my opinion, and again, I hate when people say old school, but I'm an old timer. When I first started, I was on the tail of paper tapes. We had the paper tapes. Then we went to floppies. But you start adding more complications. It's just like vehicles these days.
Right. You can't work on them.
You can't work on them. There's more things to break down. And again, just like Brandon said here a few minutes ago, at the end of the day, it's needle and thread and bobbin. Why over invent it?
Yeah. You're right. You're 100% right.
Say that real loud so everybody can hear.
No, I said it. It's out there.
Say that again.
It'll live forever.
You rarely tell me I'm right. I'm right. But no, Brandon and I have had this discussion, and I love to talk about embroidery. I truly do, because I have a passion for the industry. And I want to see it do well. I want to see all manufacturers do well. I want to see all companies do well. Whether they own a Barrett or not doesn't make any difference.
Right.
I want to support the industry. But I think a lot of times some of our competitors overcomplicate things and turns people off from embroidery. That's my biggest weakness, or not weakness. My biggest weakness is I'm scared of. I'm not saying.
What are you scared of?
I'll tell you off air.
We can't do this.
I can't do that. I'll get canceled.
Edit button.
I almost said it.
I know. It's nothing bad. It's just
No.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you.
I'll tell you. I got a story. I'll tell you next time I see you.
Matter of fact, I can just text it to you right now. Just don't laugh out loud.
Right.
No, I worry about the industry. I'm afraid people will get disenfranchised with it, disenchanted with it because, it's too hard. And some people have. Some people do get out of it because of that reason. It's not for everybody.
Yeah, just check your phone. Just don't laugh.
No laugh. No. I can't believe that.
That's true.
That's
Honest
a
to
true
God,
story.
True story.
That's a true story.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear that one. So. But yeah, how you guys having a good year so far then, huh?
Yeah.
It's summer's slow.
It hasn't been, but
Summer
it's
is
starting to
slow.
slow down.
it's starting to slow down.
So what about you guys? How's your business?
Really, it's really strong start to the year, which was a little bit unexpected. And obviously summertime, like you mentioned, Brandon, is a little bit of a slower time of the year. But we're staying busy, and I think we're on pace, to have a really solid year. Especially with you guys, I think we're on pace to break last year's record. So hopefully we can hit it. And I guess I'm not really sure what's to come in the second half of the year. I'm not sure what your guys' opinions on that are.
Man, I don't know. I just take it one day at a time and try not to worry about anything.
I think it's going to be okay. Look,
it will be.
We've had 2.5 years of phenomenal growth that was not expected, and everybody knows that. And you probably in any industry, people are saying the same thing. It's everybody's busy.
Yeah.
It has to slow down at some point. It has to get back to what I call normal. I mean, this hasn't been normal.
Right.
In all my years here, this has not been normal. And because of COVID or whatever you want to blame it on, I think that it's going to get back to what I call normal. When I go back and look at our numbers, and I'll show these to you sometime. I mean, how many millions a year we've sold, and it's just gone like it hasn't gone like this. It has gone like this and stayed like this.
Well, it's crazy too because it's no secret we're in a high rate environment, and we've continued to be busy. People just still need their equipment. In my opinion, I think rates are going to be kind of stagnant for the remaining, maybe even go down towards the end of the year. I think we're at the highest that they're going to be. So, who knows what that will bring if it brings more demand for getting equipment.
Well, I also think that I think that more stuff's coming back to the U.S. I'm seeing more, not only embroidery, but other things are starting to trickle back here to the U.S.
Yeah.
Now, how they're going to find the workers to fill all these jobs?
That's the biggest issue.
That's a different question.
That's a different question, but I do see it coming back. I'll tell you that this area here, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point, what we call the Triad, they're opening up several factories here. There's jobs here, and it's I don't want to say it's booming, but it's not. People aren't losing their jobs.
No.
Which I think people were afraid of after the COVID bump. I think everybody thought, well, once that goes down, everything's going away. Despite the inflation, despite the higher interest rates, I still see people buying stuff, but that's our area, and obviously it's probably different in other parts of the country, but almost to a man, all of our customers that we talk to are busy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, and the other thing I think about too, and I was talking to John Kuhn about this. There's a whole lot of machines out there. A lot of folks that I've been dealing with lately have extremely old machines. So, those get their age on them, and then they're calling you to get new machines. And I think some of this is, they're hitting, 25-year-old machines, and they're like, okay, it's time to replace it.
Did you see the email
Oh,
that
yeah,
Thad
yeah,
sent us
yeah,
yesterday?
yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you were going there or not. But.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like, that's a whole new batch of folks that are starting to come around, too. It's like, well, they've gotten more than their life out of the machine, and then they're calling like, they've got a 30-year-old machine. Hey, I need to replace this thing. I'm like, yeah, you probably do.
That's pretty impressive, though. Getting called up for
absolutely.
25 years to replace a machine.
Well, I mean, I see it a lot of, people got ancient machines in there that are still running, and I mean running good. And you're like, kind of makes it hard to sell you a new one when you got a machine that's running great that's that old.
If they have a machine and it's paid for, but there's no doubt you can do more embroidery with fewer heads.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing. So if you're having a problem with getting people to run your machines, finding operators, and let's say you had 15 years ago you had, I'm just going to say 30 heads, you could probably outproduce with 20 heads what those 30 heads would do.
Right.
And if you got fewer heads, then you'll have fewer people to run it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I look at it. And look, obviously we sell equipment and we want people to buy equipment. And we know there's a lot of old stuff out there that's still running and running well, and we do our best to support it. It's borderline on some of these machines where we can't get parts for them. But all of them are 18 to 20 years old.
That's a long life.
Their return on investment has been threefold.
Mm-hmm.
So what I look at is, more efficient, fewer parts, the newer sewing head's better. The machines, the stitch accuracy is better. They sew caps better. Everything is better on the newer machines. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And when you look back, you look at what they cost. Now, these machines now cost what they did back in the early 90s when I started. A 6-head back then was $72,000.
Yeah.
We're up to...
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, embroidery machines, the first single head we made, called a Prosperity Plus, that machine was close to $30,000 for a 7-needle machine.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Now this machine right here, this Pro 3, which is our best-selling single head, is $18,500, and it will literally sew circles around that old machine. And it's
so it's just efficiencies in manufacturing that just drove down the price then, or?
No, that and technology, electronics. You got to keep in mind too. These things all have a computer in them, so electronics have gotten better. You don't.
You
have
think about buying a computer.
Yeah.
You didn't own a computer when you were I didn't, because they cost you $10,000. Now you can get a laptop for like $500.
Well, and these old machines had a little LED screen.
Mm-hmm.
And you could not see the design on it at all. I mean, when I first started, you could not see the design. You had to trust what your software told you, your design software, what it looked like. When you put it into the machine, you had to trust what it was.
I hope that's what comes out.
Yeah. I mean, people have no idea how it was. But we didn't know any better. That's just the way that it was. You did a trace, and you pushed the start button and
crossed your fingers.
Yeah, I mean, but... Hey, man, we don't want to keep you all day because we could talk to you all day because you're one of the good dudes.
I'm having a great time.
Are there any new products or services you'd like to tell our customers about? Anything to look for on the horizon or
promotions?
Right now,
promotions, any of that stuff. I mean, promote Geneva. We're a fan. We want everybody to be a fan.
Yeah, I mean, right now our third quarter promotion. Right now, we're offering $99. Per month for the first 6 months, and that's for qualified buyers. So typically, it's a couple of years in business and just decent personal credit.
So you're saying my 350 credit score is not okay?
No, we stay away from you, Bob. But no, it's and also the other benefit too is the clock on those payments, $99 for the first 6 months, won't start until the equipment's actually been delivered and installed. So. Depending on lead times, if you get the equipment in, November sometime, you're not making substantial payments until early to mid 2024. So really allows you to secure your place in line and get a machine, at low out-of-pocket costs.
Well, good. Well, that's a plug for you guys.
$99, I think I can do it.
Well, I can do the 99, but it's going to go up.
Can you take it back after the?
Yeah, right after the 99. All right, we're done now.
Yeah. All right. You got anything?
Anything?
Sure
we want to have a little fun.
I'm sure you got something.
Ask you a few questions. But you got
Sure.
anything else you want to talk about with Geneva Capital?
I mean, I think we went over a lot of the
Yeah.
points. I mean, go ahead and you guys will have my contact info. So need me anytime, just give me a call on my cell.
Yeah. Well, you guys are genuinely one of our preferred vendors. I mean, we like you guys a lot. I mean, again, not to try to get on your good side, but you guys have the same philosophy as us, taking care of the customer, being fair, and that means a lot. I think that's what keeps us around. That ensures longevity with both companies.
It sounds like you're trying to get to a Braves game here soon, Bob.
Who mentioned that?
I was just kidding.
But
Yeah.
since you asked,
I got some ends down there, so.
Right. Yeah.
Brandon does. That's Brandon's territory, Atlanta. So.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to ask you some questions. We're going to have a little bit of fun before we let you go.
Rapid fire.
Let's go.
Quiz time.
All right.
Love it.
Who's your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero, probably Batman, just because I love the movies, the Dark Knight trilogy.
Okay.
Really? Who played Batman the best?
Michael
Keaton,
Christian Bale, right?
Christian Bale.
Have you watched that Michael Keaton Batman?
I don't think I've seen the Keaton Batmans before.
It's pretty great.
Keaton, I've seen the other guys a lot of times. I know Keaton in that one. He's hilarious in that movie.
Oh yeah. The other guy's where he's the detective, the police chief, or whatever he is.
Yeah, love that one.
Speaking of superheroes, if you had a superpower, any superpower, what would you pick?
Oh, man. Any superpower, okay? Let's see.
You could be invisible. You could be...
No, I don't know if I'd want to be invisible.
No, I think we asked. Didn't we ask Gary that?
Yeah.
I think that gets. He didn't choose that, but I think
I'm the only
that
person that wants to be invisible.
it's creepy.
I think being able to transport anywhere in the world, just like
a Star
snap
Trek?
of the fingers.
That's
Yeah,
a pretty
I want to
good
be able to, just transport anywhere I want to go.
You could save
in the
Geneva a
world
lot of money
anytime.
on your travel expenses.
Oh yeah, I could go to trade shows. I could be at 3 different trade shows at once. It'd be great.
That's a good choice.
Yeah. Would you like to be cloned?
No, I don't think the
You
world
wouldn't?
needs more of me. But no, I wouldn't choose to do that.
No way.
So you could, I mean, like, your clone could go to work and you can go play. You can go fish or whatever you like.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, now that you say that, I could be in the golf course a lot more. I don't know. What about you guys getting cloned or what?
No. Absolutely.
I'm working on it. I can't find anybody that can find a mold to fit my head.
Is that how it works? They
That's
just
how it
mold,
works.
make a
Yeah,
mold
they
out
put you
of
in a
it.
mold.
You're just a rubber version of yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not a clone.
No, well,
Remember Dolly the sheep that they cloned or whatever?
yeah.
That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
She wasn't a mold. That was like DNA stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to get, that's too creepy.
Yeah.
Getting your DNA.
That's Satan.
Yeah.
It's dark sided
I-
Satanism.
It's Satan. I would agree.
Yeah.
Hey, I got. If you weren't working for Geneva, what would be your alternate career? When you were a kid and your parents ask you what you want to be when you grow up.
Yeah, it's easy answer, kind of cheesy, but I've always wanted to be in the NHL. I love hockey, so if I had a little bit more talent, that would have been great to make that happen. But yeah,
That's rough.
definitely professional
That is a
professional
rough
hockey player,
Sport.
or PGA or golf, because I love golf, and that's much easier. But golf is you're just by yourself out there. There's no team aspect to it. I love being a part of a team, and so that would kind of get in your head if you're just by yourself. Hockey, you got a group of guys around you. I miss the locker room, all that kind of stuff. So that would be definitely my pick if I could do that as an adult.
What, do you play much golf?
Yeah, I try to get out there a decent amount. I started like 10 years ago, and I'm really not that much better than when I started. So it's frustrating, but
Brandon loves
Dude,
golf.
don't you start with
you
me.
love golf, don't you, Brandon? I've tried to get you out a couple times.
Yeah, what I say. This is what I say.
Say no.
It can't be repeated.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Remember, this is a clean podcast.
Man, I used to
Keep it
play.
clean, keep it
I
clean.
was a single digit handicapper there for a long time.
Were you really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I quit cold turkey.
He was great.
I got,
Do you speaking
I
of
got down to a
hockey?
7.
Do you, and this is totally random. Did you watch Shoresy on Hulu?
No, I haven't. I know what you're talking
Oh,
about,
man.
though. That's
Dude,
the show
have-
based out of
off of Letterkenny?
Canada or Toronto. Yeah.
It's great. You will love it.
Yeah, you need to watch.
I should
you
check
need
it
to watch
out.
that.
Yeah.
I really need to watch that.
It is great.
Because I've heard really good things.
Yeah, it's got all the hockey chatter and lingo. Like, that's what I love about it. Because I used to love hockey, and
Yeah.
I kind of fell off, but it's a good show. Check it out.
Yeah.
Hey, if you
I'll
were
do
a
that.
vegetable, what vegetable would you be?
What vegetable would I be? I don't know. I don't eat vegetables, so it's kind of hard to think of one off the top of my head.
Is a steak a vegetable?
Let me see here. I don't know.
I think you'd be a stalk of celery.
A
Him?
stock celery,
You'd
nice
be a
and
stalk,
simple.
You'd be celery. You'd be a celery stick.
Good accessory to other dishes, maybe. Yeah, okay, I can do that.
Because
Well, all that means is, like, when you get wings, you're just like an afterthought that people may dip into ranch or blue cheese. It's not really an important vegetable.
Well, I mean,
No, you can shove me into like a Bloody Mary too. That'd be good.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Put peanut butter on it.
Way to flip
Yeah.
that on its head. That was good.
I mean, but you tell me. I see you as a celery.
Yeah.
A celery.
Not even a stalk. You're just one lone
Yeah.
celery.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, that or broccoli. Just standard. Nothing flashy. That could be me too. So I like celery though.
I couldn't even answer that question. Probably a beet. That's what I'd be.
You could be a beet. You could, or maybe a radish.
I don't know. I think beets are supposed to be like a superfood. I need to be a superfood.
Radishes are kind of sour, so I don't know.
I love a
Definitely
radish.
Yeah, I like radishes too. Because not everybody likes a radish.
Right.
Not everybody likes you.
No doubt about that.
So, you know what I'm
No
saying?
doubt about that.
People. It's like you look at a radish, you don't think about eating them.
More people hate me than like me. Just like radishes.
No, it's not that at all. Listen, hear me out. A radish. Nobody thinks about radishes. You think about potatoes, broccoli, carrots,
celery.
But who thinks about a radish? I mean, it's an underappreciated vegetable. But it's like you. You're underappreciated. But once somebody takes a bite out of it, it's like,
I don't know where this is even
this
going.
is pretty good. And once they get to know you, it's like, he's a really cool dude, and we like him. I should have more radishes in my life, and I need more Brandon in my life. That's a compliment.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
You sold me, kinda.
You're a radish.
Okay.
You are a celery.
I think you got a new tattoo idea, Brandon.
No, sir. Don't get a radish on me.
I think about
Heck, I might do it. I'm due one.
All right. So you would be a celery.
Yeah.
If you had a time machine, I thought about this one. This is pretty cool. If someone were to give you a time machine, would you go into the future or would you go into the past?
Past.
Why?
For sure.
Why?
I love history, so I would if I only could pick one time. I don't know. I'm kind of on this kick as well of like looking back at like what humans were like hundreds of thousands of years ago, even past what you would even normally think of. So I would definitely go into the past. I have a couple of options of where I'd want to go, but yeah, that's my answer on that.
You talking like Pangea?
Pangea, yeah, get me all the way back. I'm talking like to the very start of civilization, or even earlier back, back when the dinosaurs were around. I think that would just be cool to do.
Well, you know how that story ends.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah,
the
well-
celery gets eaten by a T-Rex.
Yeah. Do we know that for sure?
They were no, they weren't vegetarians, were they?
No, they were carnivorous.
Yeah,
carnivorous.
The brontosaurus was a vegetarian.
Who knows?
Yeah, I think
Are
so.
dinosaurs even
I'm pretty
real?
sure. Oh yeah, that's where gasoline comes from.
You're right.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
Question is, would you guys try to change the past? That's the real
No,
No. I don't. No, I wouldn't. And I definitely would not go to the future. That scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, who knows what's going to be like in the future, even 50 to 100 years from now. Yeah, who knows?
If I went into the past, I asked this question to somebody here. One of my friends, a guy I ride with. I said, "Would you go into the past?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "I'd go back and see some of my family." I wouldn't want to do that because then you have to leave.
Yeah, and then you got to go
I
through
would
that
want
all
to go
over again.
way past before they were born. I'm like you, Tom. I'd like to go back. I would like to. I had a dream about this one time about a radish. No, I'm just kidding. I would like to go back and see the United States before, like, be one of the first settlers here.
Yeah.
With
Talking about
machine
the
guns
first
when the
colony?
Indians kind of shot me with arrows, and, you know. Yes.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you like to have been? Yeah,
No, because they got lost. The lost colony.
No, but you're in a time machine. You can, like, leave.
You
When
got
the
to get
best-
back to that time machine.
You know, we go to the Outer
No,
Banks.
it's
we go to the
portable
Outer
time
Banks.
machine.
We love the Outer Banks in North Carolina, and we always go to Nag's Head every year. It's so peaceful out there. It's not commercialized. We rent a house. But my thing is, I always think back, what would have been like to be on a boat coming in to the Outer Banks there when there was absolutely nothing there. I just
That's terrifying.
or the coast of California, the first people
Just
that came over.
just new territory
Yeah.
that you've never you've never seen. No one's ever seen it before. Pushing west. Yeah, that
I
would
would
be
have
awesome.
liked to have been on the Lewis and Clark expedition. I think that would have
Yeah.
been cool. Just finding the Mississippi River. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like history too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it because it's already happened. I don't want to be a part of it.
No, but anyway.
Brandon's going to the future. It's on.
No. I ain't going nowhere. I'd go back.
You wouldn't use it.
I'd go back. Let me think. 15 minutes from now, and probably say something different. That'd be about it. That's the extent of my time travel.
Last one.
Right.
We're going to let you get back to work.
All right.
Let's say you're in prison for murder. You've been convicted. In the morning, you're going to get electrocuted. What's your last meal?
Oh man. What is my last meal? It's gonna have to be something my fiance makes because she's a great cook. I would probably pick her homemade lasagna.
Oh.
It is so good.
Does she put ham in it?
No ham in it. I've never even asked her how she makes it. I
puts ham
get
in
it
it?
out of the oven and yeah, it is great. That'd be my pick. No problem. And then a glass of red wine or something like that. That'd be good. Good little pair for it.
Prosciutto.
Is
Yep.
that on lasagna?
You can put prosciutto on lasagna.
Oh, I'm just now learning this. So.
It's country lasagna. you put a ham hock. Right?
It's like soup.
I was like, do you know what lasagna is?
Yeah, you bury a ham hock right in the middle of the lasagna, then you cook it. It's good, man.
All right. Fair enough.
All right, buddy.
On that note.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the thing with cheese? You eat cheese curds?
No, I don't eat. I'm not a Wisconsin
That's
guy.
a Wisconsin
so
thing, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin
Okay,
thing.
I know. When I'm up,
People from Minnesota like cheese curds too. I can kind of take them or leave them. They're fine.
oh, I don't like those things at all.
Oh, I do. The squeaky ones.
It's like when I go to Canada, everybody eats that poutine stuff. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
That's
That and ketchup chips. And,
Oh.
yeah.
I do
weird.
like ketchup chips.
No, I don't care for that stuff.
Okay, well,
Hey, bud, thanks.
yeah, we.
Yeah, thanks for
certainly-
having me on, you guys.
certainly
Yeah, really
you.
appreciate it. Had a great time. So.
Yeah, I'll put all the links for Geneva and all that stuff in the notes of the show and on the YouTube and all that stuff. So,
Love it.
did you
Alrighty.
where'd that picture come from? You sent me. I'm just curious.
I think that was someone from our marketing team took that picture of me. Wanted an updated headshot of me, so
Yeah.
the last one must not have been any good.
You mean tell you what Brandon said? He said,
What'd he say?
he said, I just got a picture of Tom. I said, well, what does it look like? He said, it looks like he took it in his hotel room.
That's what I said. I thought you took a selfie of yourself.
He said
No,
it was
I did not
selfie.
take a selfie. No, it was a nice little backdrop.
I haven't seen it, so.
It's good. It's very good.
So,
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Anyway, though, he's getting married, so when you see the picture, ladies, just pump the brakes.
Yeah,
off
that's
the
right,
market.
ladies.
Unless you can make a mean ham lasagna, then he's on board.
Yeah. I'll tell you what,
There's-
if I made you a ham lasagna, you'd want to marry me.
There's no ham in the lasagna. I don't know where we got that.
I don't either. That's what I'm saying.
Man, you got to live a little bit.
Yeah. Little.
Yeah.
All right. Well, man, have a good rest of the show, and
Yes, sir.
yeah, like I said, I'll put all the notes or the links to you guys in the show notes, and we certainly appreciate you. And here's to more successful years together, hopefully.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see you guys soon. I know, Bob, are you coming out to Long Beach?
Yeah, I go to everywhere we have a show. We just haven't had many shows here lately.
You'll be at Fort Worth.
All right.
Yeah, I'll be at Fort Worth.
All right. Well,
Brandon
well,
will be I may take Brandon to Fort Worth.
He's trying to
come to Fort Worth. Come to Long Beach, Brandon. It's a good time over there.
What I need to do is like actually, when you text me like, "Hey, let's go do like up in Atlantic City," I'm always so nervous to go to the casinos.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't gamble.
I don't. But
Guy like you, unlimited money. Come on.
Yeah.
You
should see my credit score.
Are you afraid to gamble?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Then you probably shouldn't.
That's what I'm saying. But I was like, I should go with Tom and hang out and just sit.
Sports gambling's stress free. We'll do that. We'll just kind of sit, watch a game, put $5 on it. It's a great time.
Yeah.
See, I like to watch people.
I do too. The times I've been through the casino, I'm just watching.
like to
So
watch
if I could just
people.
hang around you guys while you gamble, I'm fine. I just don't want to get drugged.
While I lose my savings account, that'd be fun.
As long as it happens to somebody else, I'm good. Anyway, yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'm getting closer and closer every year. So if you hang around long enough and I hang around long enough, we'll lose all our money together.
I'm persistent. I won't give up.
Nah, I appreciate that about you. All right, man. Well, we'll let you go, and see you soon enough, I hope.
Yeah. Great talking to you guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right, buddy.
right,
We'll
take
see you
care,
later,
Tom.
man.
Yep. See ya.
Bye. Good stuff. Bad stuff.
Yeah, well, that wasn't good. Would that come off your phone?
Yeah, it was on my phone. I was testing the audio on it. And
Always good talking to him. He's a good dude. All the guys at Geneva, I've known them for a long time. They're good people. They're
yeah. Good people all around.
good people.
I don't know why they did this. Oh, okay. Looks like my audio was up.
Are you good there, buddy? Are you good?
Yeah,
Mr.
I'm good. Yeah.
Technician.
I had like 1,000 emails come in too.
Yeah, the phone was ringing off the
Yeah.
hook too. We need to get to our phones, but
We will.
yeah, I always like talking. Tom's such a good guy. He's been here 4 years. I thought he'd been here longer than that.
No.
I believe him. He said 4 years, but
he does a good job, man. He's always on the ball with everything, and I certainly appreciate him.
yeah, I do too. And he's good. He's a good guy to hang out with. We always at shows we always go to dinner. We hang out a little bit, and he's a lot of fun. I don't normally like people from Minnesota, but I like him.
I think those are my kind of people.
The Minnesotans,
Mm-hmm.
no, they're good people.
Yeah.
I like it up there. Minnesota's, if it just weren't so dang cold.
Do this a minute.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's going up your nose.
No, it's my trips up there have always been really good. The people are nice.
I've never been. That seems like
If you get out of the city, up
that's what I'm saying. That seems like a place.
I can't think of the name of that town where Lake Shirts is. One of our they got a ton of Buriedans up there and screen printing and all kinds of stuff. But that is such a cool little town. I mean, the hotel that we stayed, I've been there like 3 times. The hotel we stay in is like a little mom and pop hotel. There's no chains up there.
That's cool.
And it's like a 3-hour drive, and it's absolutely beautiful. In Minnesota, the land of lakes, isn't it? I have
Is
that
it?
right?
What's Michigan?
I
I thought Michigan was the land of 1,000 lakes or something like that.
That's Minnesota, land of
Is it?
1,000 lakes.
I don't know.
It's not Michigan.
We should have asked him. He probably knew.
Yeah,
Well, if you don't know your state motto,
that's
Do you?
true. That's true.
I don't know ours.
All right.
First in flight.
First in flight. And the people in Ohio,
Get pissed.
they argue that they're first in flight.
Yeah.
They're not.
No.
Where's
Sorry.
the Wright Brothers Memorial? That's all you got to say.
What you gotta say?
Just point at it.
I say where they do it at.
And Wilbur.
Where-
Wilbur.
Wilbur.
Wilbur. Orville.
Orville?
Orville and Wilbur flew the plane. When Orville got done, he started Popcorn Company.
Mm-hmm. And the rest,
And the rest
is history.
Exactly. We know our history here. I'll tell you that.
All righty.
Ah.
We'll get out of here. Anything coming up we need to talk about? Probably not.
Well, just keep in mind Fort Worth is in September.
Yeah.
I don't know. the
Hopefully we get a podcast out before then.
date. Oh, we will. We will. We'll get. I got a couple ideas, and we've got the guys from Flex.
Yes.
They've got.
That'll probably be the next one.
Yeah, we got the guys from Flex Fit Hat.
trying to get
Cats.
Thomasina lined up.
Thomasina, I've got a couple ideas with a couple people.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll get some stuff out there. It's just been a hectic summer with vacations, and I've got travel coming up. You've got some travel coming up. So.
Yeah. Might be going to Florida with Thaddeus.
Yeah, he mentioned that to me the other day.
Yeah.
I got to go to corporate in Cleveland. I'll be in Pennsylvania next week. Week after that, I'll be in Cleveland. So.
Okay, well, always, we thank you for listening, subscribing. Go get it where you get your podcast. Subscribe on YouTube and share it if you would.
Share it with everybody. Your
Share it with the
family,
world.
your friends, your enemies.
Everybody deserves a little bit of us
They do.
in their life.
They really do.
You don't know what you're missing
And
out
if you think Brandon is another vegetable other than a radish, let me know.
Please don't do
But
that.
I see him as a
I have
radish.
enough problems as it is. Just keep those
What
comments.
vegetable
to
would
yourself.
I be? What do you think I would be?
Probably, what's a vegetable? Cauliflower.
I hate cauliflower.
exactly.
I absolutely hate that. That's not a vegetable. Let's
It's a
get out of here.
vegetable.
Let's quit.
You're a cauliflower.
You offended me.
Yeah. My job is complete. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you. Have a great day. Adios.
Adios.